Welcome to Rome for the Rome eTrophy, where Eddie Hart is on pole from Bastian Tan and Rainis Kurlis, the Latvian, making his first start, followed up by Kasanov Cornwell, Sakar Hidenko, and Gabriela Barkton. Thomas Holt starts 7th from Ben Allen Lee and Gab Stabiner. To round out the top 10 is Hatchai Stilia. Tam Anderley, she starts 11th from Juan Villalobos and Nick K. Baker. Then it's Star in 14th from Andrei Nesbetsky, Taka Nishimoto, Kazmas Medicis, Sri Harishwar, Rona Spiker, the points leader, down in 20th from Silky, Chaos Anderley, Leandro Zakaholi, and Nelene Brules. We've had a chaotic opening 2 rounds of the championship, and the chaos always brings us to the Coliseum. All 5 lights go on for the Rome eTrophy. And we are underway in the 3rd round of the FG Series, and it's a brilliant start off the line from Bastian Tan, drawing level with Trackhouse Racing's Eddie Hart as they barrel down into the opening chicane. They are 2x2 up front and 3x3 behind. Through the first braking point, the Kondo Racing number 24 not able to get past. It's Eddie Hart from Bastian Tan and Rainis Kurlis. There goes Bastian though, coming through turn 3, followed by the Latvian number 10 to get past Scotland's finest in this category. On board we go with the number 10 of Rainis Kurlis coming through the opening chicane. And that is what we call in the business a good and clean start from the entirety of the pack. That's not what we often see with these rookies as we go on board with the rookiest of all of them. Rainis Kurlis starting his first FG Series race, going side by side and losing out to Eddie Hart, who moves back up into 2nd place. Bastian Tan, multiple time Formula E race winner. He's up into the race lead, ready to take a victory in this, the FG Series. On his way up the order, as we've got yellows for Star, who's hit the wall. He's got front wing damage and a 5-second time penalty. Wonder if that front wing is still down at that chicane. I don't see it, so I think the marshals have actually gotten that cleared up quite quickly. Back onto the main straight to begin lap 2 of 13. It's Bastian Tan from Eddie Hart and Rainis Kurlis. Attack mode is now online. Kurlis not able to use it. Coming through the opening chicane, they hold it side by side, coming out of turn 2, but one of them's got the inside line heading into 3. Eddie needs a brilliant run through turn 3, and unfortunately, he's just not able to get it in that Trackhouse car. Last time out race winner, Sri Harishwar, now with a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, as that's close to a collision with the wall for Eddie Hart. And oh! Big one for Juan Villalobos. The Venezuelan driver has just hit the wall and taken himself out of the race, and the cautions come out on lap 2 of 13. Sakar Hidenko, winner of the Beijing eTrophy, runs in 4th with his teammate now leading. We didn't expect brand new team Kondo Racing, who were set to race in Formula Nippon this season before that was cancelled. But of course, the team opening up to the FG Series, well, they're making the most of it as we are back under the green flags and on board with the number 23, who got a pretty good jump on Eddie Hart. Coming into the final corner then, looks like we do have some gaps beginning to open up. Star is dropping down the order due to that front wing damage. We've got some brilliant rookie talent on this field, of course. We've had some join this race, some join last time out, some join at the very start of the season. As we go on to lap 3, here comes Sakar Hidenko, the only one of the rookies who has won a race so far, with a brilliant lunge up into 2nd place to make it a 1-2 for Kondo Racing. Unbelievable stuff from the Ukrainian. Rainis Kurlis, however, flies around the outside of him, using some attack charge, and almost looked as if he could get past Bastian Tan as well. Coming through turns 4 and 5, the 24 out of the race. Big slide for Bastian, and the cautions come out. Rainis Kurlis, I don't know if he knew it when he was making the move through the chicane, but he has just taken the race lead. His teammate has dropped down to 17th, that'll become 16th as they all congregate. Keep it clean, please. No, Spiker, oh! Spiker and Chaos Anderley have just run into the back of the guys in front of him as we are back under the green flags. And the man that everyone is probably most interested in is this little battle for the lead between Rainis Kurlis, the greatest rookie on the grid right now, going up against the other greatest rookie on the grid, Sakar Hidenko, going side by side. and up into the race lead for number 23. Brilliant stuff from these two rookies, but we expect these guys to come into the pits. Look at the tyres, 39%. And Curlis, is that a problem coming into the pits? He's let Eddie Hart go by. Either way, Gabriel Barton now up into the race lead. Race winner in the IndyCar Series in his second FG Series season. Took a season out of course, returning last season with some very strong results. And we could see a similar result today here in Rome. We go on board with LeBarton and he's out. Never mind. Casanova Cornwell takes the lead, and the Englishman has just been handed a golden opportunity here on the strategy at the very least. If there's another caution, that will help Cornwell tenfold. We've had 3 retirements in 4 laps. Hopefully we don't see any more. Look at that win. Full course cautions ending. And we are underway once more here in Rome, which, as you know, was not built in a day. But look at how little pace the 2 Power Motorsport drivers have. Both of them yet to make a pit stop on board with Cosmas Medeiros, who flies off the road on the back of his teammate Tam Anderley in the number 3. Holding on to P3 as we've got a caution, and it's for the other Anderley. Chaos is out of this race. Thankfully offline, and they've gotten that cleared up quite quickly. But it's another DNF for the German driver. His sister certainly having a better career so far, as Casanova Cornwell going onto the soft tyres, making the most of this caution period. Also into the pits, halts Tam Anderley, so I believe should be Cosmas Medeiros taking us to green on lap number 5, and it will be the Greek driver taking us back to green. Milian Brules moves up into second place from last on the grid. Nick Haymaker, however, only able to get 4th out of all of this. Zakhar Hedenko going side by side with Eddie Hart. Keep it clean, boys. You're not fighting for the lead anymore, and that's the bad part for these guys. 8% for Cosmas Medeiros, nowhere near how good the softs are for... out of the race for Cosmas, was about to say, nowhere near as good soft tyres as we see on Casanova Cornwell's car. And that's what happens when you've got low grip. 8% for Milian Brules. As we're on lap 5 and 13. We've seen some of the early stops and the field shaken up slightly through all of these caution periods. The man who has made the most of this, obviously, being your race leader, Casanova Cornwell, started this race 4th, dropped down to 5th, and now leads on tyre strategy. That's what can happen when you've got all of this chaos happening in this race. If there is a lot of chaos, then there's going to be a lot of full course cautions, and if you can pit during the caution periods, then you can make up a lot of positions, or you can just make moves. Milian Brules coming down into the final corner has hit 0. Hopefully he can come in before the tyres go. Nope, he's too late. The tyres blow coming through the final corner as Hedenko. Oh no! Big slide for Zakhar Hedenko and for Milian Brules. Yellow flags flying. Hopefully Milian can get back onto the track safely, and he does. But for Hedenko, certainly was in contention for winning as Moises Lima. Oh my god. That was terrible. 2 incidents in 1 lap for the same man, as Nishimoto has got a time penalty. Still got yellows flying down in Sector 3, and it's because of all of that debris that was left down at that final corner. 16 seconds, the margin that Cornwell's got to Eddie Hart now, due to all of those yellow flags flying. Holtz, oh! Halt! Oh! Oh no! Big slide for Nishimoto. Airborne twice for Eddie Hart. And the cautions are back out in race 3. My oh my. How many cautions can we have in one race? Too many to count, don't get in their way, I guess. We're back on the greens here in Rome. Cornwell's now got an entire pit stop. And it's margin as a caution comes out for Hidenko. Brulez running into the back of the Ukrainian driver whose car lets go. Another caution coming out. Lap 7. My oh my. Well, we've got a United Kingdom 1-2. Cornwell and Ben Allen Lee. Now, the big thing about this man is he comes into pits as we are back under the green flags. Ben Allen Lee came onto the ERL scene in Season 1 of Formula E. He's won a handful of races, he's got a lot of podiums, but he's never really been able to string it up into a good season as Cornwell's now got front wing damage. Hachai Cilia versus Tamandale. The battle of the female drivers is behind them. They're going 3 wide over third place. Contact from Rena Skirles, and my goodness, Andreas Besny's out. Full course cautions come out, and rightfully so. That was one of the worst incidents I've seen in quite some time. Look at the debris that's strewn across the opening chicane. That's across the entire width of the track there. Sri Harishwal almost running into the back of Hachai Cilia as we are about to get back racing, and we are now racing again. For Andrei Nesbetsny, not the way you want to debut in this series, but unfortunately, it's not uncommon. Ben Allen Lee flying through the opening chicane, the second chicane, mind me. On board we go with Takanishi Motai on the back of Gab Stappen, the Brazilian number 17. Moved from Envision Racing to Nano Motorsport, but missed the opening round of the season. Hachai now with a third and hopefully final track limits warning as Ben Allen Lee punches in a faster sector time. 5 laps to go as Cornwall dives down into the pits and goes on to a set of intermediate tyres. That's an early stop for Inters if the teams predict rain. We do have floodlights out, but the sky is currently clear. Thomas Holtz with a time penalty for causing a collision, and a lot of drivers coming in potentially for the intermediates. So on lap 8, George's Silky in the number 11 for Revolution Racing, making his first start in this league, now leads Casanova Cornwell from Ben Allen Lee and Nick Haymaker, whose teammate is out of this race. As there goes Thomas Holtz up into 4th place, and I don't think the Inters right now are the best tyre to be on. I probably would have waited a lap as the cautions come out for Silky. The cautions come out hard in the wall. Casanova Cornwell reclaims the race lead. You know, his brother Chris won his first race in a similar wreckfest. That was in Austin, Texas, which isn't on this season's calendar. The closest place in terms of racing like that you'll find is here in Rome. Maybe the Cornwell family just likes relishing in chaos, and honestly, that makes quite a lot of sense in this league. We're about to go green again. As clouds darken as we are racing here in Rome. Casanova using some attack charge going down the straight, trying to get away from Ben Allen Lee. It's between the oldest and the youngest British drivers on this field, and Allen just not able to close up enough coming through the final few corners. Not even the final few, it's only one corner. So into the pits comes the number 14, and the rain comes as he dives down. It's raining as we enter the final 4 laps of this Rome eTrophy. Intermediate tyres going on for almost everybody for sure. And look at this, Tamandale in the number 3. Up into 2nd place, but 9 seconds off of the lead. There's no way she's going to be able to take the win from here, but still 2nd place. And not just an impressive result, but a brilliant result for her and that Power Motorsport team, who just haven't really seemed to get the gist of this FG Series, despite this being the generation of cars that they won their Formula E Championship in. Remember, the ERL 01 last run in Formula E back in Season 21. That series champion was UK with Power Motorsport. On board we go with Gab Stappen. Everyone actually on a bit of an island to themselves. Well, not exactly. There is a little gaggle of cars fighting over some position between 8th through to 4th, headed by Hachai Celia. Today really is the day of girl power, it seems, in the ERL. Rounding through the Ascari chicane, heading down into Curva Parabolica. 3 laps to go from Rome. And here comes Leandro Zaccaroli. The Envision Racing number 1 almost hit by Ben Allen Lee, who just drives on by. Probably should have pitted alongside Cornwell. But at the same time, the Goodhart man just had an amazing gap. Reyes Curlis in the 10, fastest lap of 1:16.6. Here comes Ben Allen Lee further up. Contact and a caution coming out. That's for the race leader. It is. Cornwell is out of this race. And that means you're watching Sam Anderley take the lead of this race, coming through turns 4 and 5. Certainly the driver of the day today has to go to Casanova. We obviously expected to see a lot of wrecks, but I don't think we wanted to see someone who was dominating lose out like that. But still, must have just been a lapse in, focus. That can happen, as we've got yellows for Star, who has hit the wall and now has damage to his car. On board we go with Moises Lima, who flies into the wall. Big shunt for the Envision driver as another set of cautions come out. We're down to 13 here in Rome. And if I was a betting man, I would probably say the man I'm watching for the race win in these final couple of laps is Ben Allen Lee in 3rd place. Hasn't competed in the ERL since season 10. Season 10. That's quite some time ago. Maybe season 20 actually, depending on when he made an extra start. But as we are back under the green flags on lap 11 of 13, Anderley did not get a good getaway. Sri Harshwell, winner last time out in London, getting a very good start alongside Ben Allen Lee, who's now going on the offense, going around the outside and taking the race lead in Rome. As Anderley gets a track limits warning, Ben Allen Lee takes the lead here in Rome. On board to go with Sri Harshwell, who might want to make a lunge, but opts against it as they come through the chicane. Big hit for Ben, who is out of this race. The commentator's curse strikes. Back into the race lead then for Tam Anderley. Oh, wow. Well, the cautions are about to end. Hopefully, this is the last time we'll have a full course yellow. And we are green again. Hachai Celia quite a ways off of this leading duo. Tam Anderley going for her first race win and the first win for Power Motorsport since season 1 of the ACE Championship. But here comes Sri Harshwell, winner last time out. The Red Bull number 16 looks alive today. Up into the race lead for the Indian driver. The second Indian to win in the ERL. Looks to become the first to win multiple races in this series. On to the penultimate lap here in Italy. On board with the number 16. The real question is, can he defend from the chasing pack? That's 11 cars he's got to defend from. Realistically, it's only 10, because that is the margin. 5 seconds between himself and Million Brules as Gab Staffen gets past Spiker around the outside of the Mexican points leader. Sri Harshwell poised to take over the championship lead as he comes through turns 4 and 5, and he hits the wall! Hard into the wall for the 16. Tam Anderley takes the lead, and it's a big one behind. Reyes Curlis, the rookie in the number 10, hitting the wall, spinning a little bit, and dropping behind. And that shakes up the complexity of this race as well. On board with Hachai Celia, trying to make it a 1-2 for the female drivers in this league. Up into second place for the Team Impol. as here comes Leandro Zaccaroli. We're going to have an all-rookie podium as it stands. 2 drivers making their second starts, 1 in their third, on board with the man in the number 1, Albania's Leandro Zaccaroli, trying to bring Albania to the podium here in Rome, rounding that final corner and on to the main straight. One more time here in Italy, Sam Andale for Monster Energy Power Motorsport. She's just about managed to avoid almost all of the carnage in these wet conditions as they came. I think that's Nishimoto who's in the wall. It is Takeyoshi Nishimoto has hit the wall. And I think that might be contact with Star, is it? It is not. It's with Million Brules who's off the track. We still got yellows, but it's not for Tam Andale, who is breaking away from the pack. As they come through the chicane, it's close to the wall for Sri Harishwar. And big slide there for Spiker. Spiker hitting the wall, but otherwise keeping it quite clean. On board with Million Brules, flying through the chicane and into the wall and out of the race for Takeyoshi Nishimoto. That will be it. That calls it. 1.2 seconds for Tam Andale. As long as her power unit doesn't let go, heading through the final corner. This will be a brilliant day for Germany, for Power Motorsport, for everyone involved. It's going to be the first race win for a German driver in the ERL's history. Rounding the final corner, Tam Andale, you are an FG Series race winner! What a finish at the end. Power Motorsport getting their first FG Series race win, their second race win in the third tier of the ERL. This is your podium, Tam Andale. Victory for the German driver, followed up by Hachai Cilia. Truly is girl power. 2 female drivers on the top 2 steps. Surely an amazing career is to come for those two. Third place for Leandro Zaccaroli, the Albanian driver, bringing the red and black flag to the podium for the first time in the ERL's history. As for the other 8 finishes in this race, Nick Haymaker 4th, the American, followed up by Thomas Holtz of South Africa, Gab Stappen 6th from Sri Harishwar and Spiker, then it's Brules and Star, your points finishes, with Rinus Kurlis being the only man to finish and not score points. The non-finishers were Takeyoshi Nishimoto, Ben Allen Lee, Moises Lila, Casanova Cornwell, Silky, Andreas Bestiny, Zakar Hedenko, still struggling with some of these names obviously, Eddie Hart, Moises, Cosmas Medicis, already said Moises Lima, Chaos Andale, Gabriela Barton, Bastian Tan and Juan Villalobos. So in the championship, Spiker still leads the way, but it's Nick Haymaker for Chip Ganassi Racing who's second. The 2 Red Bulls of Sri Harishwar and Gabriela Barton are third and fourth from Zakar Hedenko and Tam Andale. Hachai Cilia is 7th from Thomas Holtz and Star, then it's Leandro Zaccaroli, Juan Villalobos, Bastian Tan, Gab Staffen, Casanova Cornwell, Andre Nesbestny, Rinus Kurlis, Million Brules, and Ben Allen Lee, with Eddie Hart, Chaos Andale, Silky, Takeyoshi Nishimoto, Cosmas Medicis, and Moises Lima yet to score. So in the constructor standings heading into the 4th round of the championship, Red Bull Racing lead the way from Chip Ganassi Racing, who are tied on points with Team Import. 2311 Racing, they are 4th from Cardo Racing and Power Motorsport. Then it's Junior Motorsports, Manor Motorsport, Envision Racing, and Goodhart Racing, followed by Revolution Racing and Trackhouse Racing, the latter of whom are yet to score. Well, we've had a chaotic 3 rounds in this FG Series season. This has to have been the most chaotic of them so far. We expect to see a lot more heading into round 4, but first we've got 2 races to show you. The Champ Car, the 3rd round of their series, and also the 3rd round of the Formula E World Series. So make sure to subscribe to Sparkplug Motorsport so that you don't miss those 2 rounds. And we will see you guys next time then on the Electric Racing League. returns.